everyone. This lecture is specially recorded for first year BSc student of BK Birla College, Kalyan. The subject is first year BSc Mathematics semester 1, paper 1, Calculus. In last lecture, we have seen the arithmetic mean and geometric mean, and we have proved a nice property between arithmetic mean and geometric mean, that is, the arithmetic mean is always greater than equal to geometric mean. So if I have two positive real numbers, then for these two positive real numbers we have already proved. So let me quickly recall what is arithmetic mean and geometric mean. Suppose I have n numbers, so a1, a2, an. If they belongs to R, then the arithmetic mean we have defined it as, we denote it by am, and it is defined as a1 plus a2 plus an divided by n. And geometric mean, for geometric mean, note that the real numbers a1, a2, a3, they must be positive real number. So if they belongs to R, then geometric mean is equal to the nth root of a1, a2, an. So for two numbers, positive real numbers, we have proved this arithmetic mean is greater than equal to geometric mean. Even we have proved some of the properties of arithmetic mean and geometric mean. For example, let me quickly recall one properties which we have proved. So if we have three real numbers a comma b comma c which belongs to R plus, then we have seen that a square plus b square plus c square is always greater than equal to ab plus bc plus ac. And this proof was very simple. It is just 2 to 3 lines. So we applied, so applying AMGM inequality on a square comma b square, we get a square plus b square divided by 2 is greater than equal to under root of a square b square, which is ab. So we number this as 1. On similarly apply the AMGM inequality on b square and c square. So what I will get is as follows: b square plus c square by 2 is greater than equal to under root of b square c square, which is bc, number 2. And now apply the geometric mean and arithmetic mean property on a square and c square. We will get a square plus c square by 2 is greater than equal to under root of a square c square, which is ac. This is number 3. So if I multiply all these three equations, three inequalities, then what I will get is as follows. So from 1 to 3, what we get is as follows. From 1 to 3, we get a square plus b square by 2. We have to add this plus b square plus c square divided by 2 plus c square plus a square divided by 2 is greater than equal to ab plus bc plus CA. So maybe I use the word multiply 1, 2, 3. So you have to add one inequality 1, 2, and 3. So this is same as you could see that a square 2 times a square plus b square 2 times b square c square 2 times c square divided by 2. So denominator is same. So I got AB plus BC plus AC, and this 2 will get cancelled, so I will get a square plus b square plus c square is greater than AB plus BC plus AC. So this we have proved. I mean, this is very simple to see, so I don't feel that it is difficult to prove. So hence complete. On the similar line, if you remembered, we have proved that for any x belongs to R plus, x plus 1 by x is greater than equal to 1. How did you prove this? So apply AM and GM inequality on x and 1 by x. So what we will get is as follows: x plus 1 by x divided by 2 is greater than equal to under root of x into 1 by x. So let me change it. It is not 1, it is basically 2. It is 2. So you could see that I'll get x into 1 by x is straight away greater than equal to 2. So this completes this proof. This is not difficult. Now let me take one more property of arithmetic and geometric means. So third property, prove that a plus b into a plus c into c plus b is greater than equal to 8 times abc. So the proof is not difficult. You apply AMGM on a comma b. So what I will get is as follows. So of course I need to assume that a and b are positive real number. If they are not positive real number, then you cannot apply the AM and GM number property. So this would imply a plus b divided by 2 greater than equal to under root of AB. Let's number this as 1. Similarly, we can see that b plus c by 2 greater than equal to b into c. Number this as 2. And the third one, a plus c divided by 2 greater than equal to a into c. So if I multiply all these three, what I'll get is as follows: a plus b by 2, b plus c by 2, and c plus a by 2 is greater than equal to under root of ab, bc, ca. Right? So this is a plus b plus b plus c plus a divided by 8 is greater than equal to a square, b square, c square. So that 8 will go that side. So I will straight away get a plus b, b plus c plus a is greater than equal to 8 times abc. So there are many properties there are many results, small results, wherein you can easily apply the AM and GM inequality, and you could see that these all results are interesting. So now let me define a new concept called as an intervals and neighborhood. So intervals and NEI GH neighbor. So neighborhood, I will now onwards I will write NBHD. NBHD stands for neighborhood. So I will not be writing this long spelling. So please note that NBHD stands for neighborhood. So first we will define what is the interval. So if somebody asks you what is the definition of interval a comma b, the meaning of interval a comma b is nothing but those x from real number such that the x is strictly greater than a and strictly less than b. So in this case the interval points are not involved. Such interval is called as open interval. Second interval is a semi-open interval. These are the small definition I am writing now. So semi-open interval means open at A and close at B. This is same as those x belongs to R such that x is strictly greater than A and less than equal to B. So when I say closed at B, that means the B is included. Or there is one more definition of semi-open interval. So one may think that open at A, close at A and open at B. So definition of this interval is nothing but those x belongs to R such that x is greater than equal to A and strictly less than B. Right. Open interval minus infinity to A is nothing but those x belongs to R such that x is greater than minus infinity less than A. Now when I say semi-open, this is also called as semi-close also. And now let me define similarly. I can have A to infinity. This is meaning is those x belongs to R such that x is greater than A less than infinity. So what is meaning of closed interval a comma b? The meaning of closed interval a comma b is nothing but those x belongs to R such that x lies between a to b. So in a closed interval a and b are included. This is called as closed interval. So we have defined open interval, semi-open, semi-closed and closed interval. So they are not difficult. So now let me define neighborhood. NEIGHBOUR, neighborhood. So abbreviation is NBHD. Right. So let P comma epsilon belongs to R. Right. The epsilon neighborhood of P is denoted by NP epsilon and defined as NP epsilon is nothing but those x belongs to R such that the distance between x and p, x minus p is a difference, modulus, when I take modulus, that means distance between x and p is less than epsilon. This is equivalent to saying that those x belongs to R such that my x minus p lies between minus epsilon to plus epsilon. This is one of the result which we have done. Now what I will do, I will add plus p on every side. So what I will get is as follows. So I will have np epsilon as those x belongs to R such that, now minus epsilon plus p less than x less than p plus epsilon. So in interval form, this is nothing but those x belongs to R such that my x lies between, uh, I can say p minus epsilon to p plus epsilon. So np epsilon is equal to the open interval p minus epsilon comma p plus epsilon. So this should be noted. So neighborhood of p, epsilon neighborhood of p is nothing but p minus epsilon comma p plus epsilon. So if somebody asks you evaluate n of 1 comma 3, n of minus 5 comma 2, n of 6 comma 1. So this is my p, this is my epsilon. As per the definition, n of p plus epsilon is nothing but p minus epsilon comma p plus epsilon straight away. So p minus epsilon means 1 minus 3. In this case I have to write. So 1 minus 3 is minus 2 comma 1 plus 3 is 4. So epsilon neighborhood or 3 neighborhood at 1 is nothing but minus 2 comma 4. Similarly, this is p is minus 5 and epsilon is 2. So minus 5 minus 2 will give me minus 7. Minus 5 minus plus 2 will give me minus 3. This is 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. So this n p epsilon, if p and epsilon is given, then one should easily find out n p epsilon. I don't feel there is any ambiguity to solve this epsilon neighborhood. So let's go further. So the question is as follows. Express the following set in interval form. Question number 1. The set is given as, I is given as those x belongs to R such that mod x minus 4 is less than mod x plus 4. Right. So this two part is given. So now you could see that x minus 4 is either greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then I need to check uh, if x minus 4 is greater than 0, then modulus of x minus 4 is x minus 4 itself. It is, if it is less than, if it is less than 0, then it is minus of that x minus 4. So I need to use absolute value definition in a proper way. So this problem will be divided into some few cases. So what I will do, the idea is I will draw 4, I will draw minus 4 on a real line, and I will cover this real line, this is my real line, through 3 cases. The case number 1 is if my x is below minus 4. This is my case number 1. My case number 2, if my x is between 1 to 4, minus 4 to 4. And case number 3, if x is minus above the 4. So if I take these 3 cases, definitely my entire real line will get covered. So let's do that. So case 1. So case 1 is if the x is less than minus 4. So x is less than minus 4. So this would imply x plus 4 is less than 0. Right. So when x is less than minus 4, that means x is definitely less than 4 also, because 4 is above the minus 4. So what does this imply? This implies that x is less than 4. This would imply x minus 4 is less than 0. This two inequality will help us a lot to solve this. So what I have is as follows. So we have mod x minus 4 is less than mod x plus 4. So we need to find out x. Right. So this would imply, now x minus 4, in this case x minus 4 is less than 0. So it will be straight away minus x plus 4 less than x plus 4 is again less than 0. So it will be straight away minus x minus 4. So this would imply when minus x will come this side, so it is 0, and when 4 will go that side, that will be, it will be minus 8. So 0 is greater than, less than minus 8. 0 is less than minus 8, and you could see that which is not correct statement. In fact 0 is greater than minus 8, so it is a contradiction. So if I take x is equal to minus 4, then no x will satisfy this inequality, right? Because I got a contradiction. That means there is no x which satisfies mod x minus 4 less than mod x plus 4. So I need to go for the next case. So case number 2, if x is between minus 4 to plus 4. So let me go there. What it is? Yeah, my second interval is minus 4 to 4. So that means x is above 4, minus 4. This would imply x plus 4 is greater than 0, and x is less than 4. This would imply x minus 4 is less than 0. So let me take that inequality. So we have mod x minus 4 less than mod x plus 4. But x minus 4 is less than 0, so this modulus is minus x plus 4 less than x plus 4 is positive, so it is x plus 4. So this will give me, this 4 will come that side, so 0. So 2x is greater than 0, so this would imply x is greater than 0. When I say x is greater than 0, so I got x as greater than 0 in interval. How will I write? It is greater, let me write it in a better way. X is greater than 0, and of course it is less than infinity. That means x lies between open interval 0 comma infinity. Now let me discuss the case number 3. So if, what is case number 3? Yeah, if x is greater than 4. If x is greater than 4. So this would imply x minus 4 is greater than 0. Also x greater than 4 and 4 is greater than minus 4. Now that means x is greater than minus 4. So that means x plus 4 is definitely greater than 0. So we have mod x minus 4 less than mod x plus 4. That would imply, I could see that mod x minus 4 is x minus 4 only, and x plus 4 will be x plus 4 only. So x's will get cancelled. I will have minus 4 less than plus 4, which is a true statement. So out of this case, I did not get anything. So you could see that from case 1 to 3, from case 1 to 3, I can write the set I as interval. Only case number 2 has given me something. So it is case number 2. 2 number has given me. It is 0 to infinity. Open interval 0 to infinity. So you could see that this is x belongs to R such that mod x minus 4 less than mod x plus 4. So you take any number between any positive real number, if you take, then definitely this will going to happen. This is going to be hold. So this set can be written as 0 to open interval 0, 4. So here is a quick homework question. Express the set I in an interval form. So where S is those x belongs to R such that mod x minus 6 is less than mod x plus 2. So you have to analyze these three cases. So hint could be, we can think about the real number 6 and minus 2, and there will be three cases if x is less than minus 2. X is between minus 2 to 6, and if x is above 6. This is first homework. Second homework, again find the interval form I such that x belongs to R such that mod x plus 7 less than mod x. So these are the two examples which I expect that you should do this, and in next lecture we will try to explore few more examples on neighborhood and how to construct a set interval from given set. Thank you.